Hey, good Thursday evening, everyone. It is that time for Weather Geeks. I hope you had a good Thursday. We had sunshine most of the day, and then the clouds rolled in, and the rain has started to roll in this evening as well. We'll talk about the rain and what's coming up over the next few days in just a second. One of the things that's coming up this weekend is probably an end to the growing season, as we are expecting a hard freeze in some places Saturday night, but in all of the area Sunday night. That'll be the more widespread freeze. Sunday night. Was digging through some statistics today as far as the average uh, first freeze of the fall, the growing season, typical lengths. I'm going to enlarge this so you can read this a little bit more. In the fall, our average is about the 14th of October for the first freeze of the season. Typically, we see some frost before then. Earliest, back in 1982, August 29th, we hit freezing very, very early that year. And then the latest freeze occurred in 1946 on November 12th. So again, the median or the average is about the middle of October. So we're going to be a few days behind average, but not by far for this year. The average growing season, or the average length of the growing season, I should say, about 163 days. So that's what, roughly about 5.5 months. That's the average. The shortest growing season, 1970, was only 120 days, about 4 months. And the longest, back in the hot years in the 30s, 1935, we had a 204-day growing season here in the Youngstown area. All right, before we get to the temperatures, let's talk about the rain. Now, most of you are watching this well after well after I recorded this, so the radar is going to be a little outdated. But about 7:30, this is what the radar looked like. Some showers pushing in. Most of this rain pretty light, getting a little more moderate up in parts of Ashtabula County. Let's focus on tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to start out dry. I think tonight's rain will be gone by daybreak tomorrow. And we'll actually probably even see some sun tomorrow morning. Here's the NAM model tomorrow morning. As we kick off Friday, we should be in pretty good shape. But as we get into the afternoon, another pretty potent disturbance, another cold front is approaching. And by 2 p.m., it'll be kind of like right through here. Showers are going to start breaking out in northwest Ohio. And as we get into the late afternoon and evening, those showers are going to become more and more likely here. So here's the simulated radar at 5 p.m. showing a scattering of showers around. In time for high school football. Some of us are going to get a cold rain tomorrow evening. It's going to be not a big massive rain, I don't think. It's going to be those hit or miss type of showers, but if you get hit by one, it's not going to be real nice to be outside tomorrow evening. So that second front is the front that has the mother load of cold air behind it. And yeah, there'll be snow flurries tomorrow evening in northern Michigan, up into the UP, and up into Canada as well. And speaking of cold and possible snow, let's talk about the weekend. Here's a look at Saturday. I think the fire hose of moisture, if you will be mostly aimed at northwest PA Saturday. There's going to be a fetch coming off of Lake Huron, going across Lake Erie. But even in northeast Ohio, there could be a random rain shower or two during the course of Saturday. Most of the day, just kind of raw and chilly and blustery on Saturday. As we get into Saturday night, even though the NAM, I should say, isn't showing much of it here, there's a little blue trying to show up. I think Saturday night some snowflakes can be seen across the region. It could be a rain shower in spots, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see some snow trying to mix in here. Perhaps even a changeover to just a plain old snow shower in some spots Saturday night. Wouldn't expect it to do much sticking except maybe on the grassy surfaces, but yeah. It's going to be cold enough throughout the entire air column for that to happen. And, by Sunday morning, if there's some lingering moisture, which I think there probably will be, there could be more flurries flying around Sunday morning. So, yeah, it's getting cold. And by Sunday afternoon, we're back to just a hit or miss rain shower. So a cloudy, kind of a dismal weekend coming up. Temperatures struggling to get much higher than 44, 45, 46 degrees over the course of the weekend. Once we are into Sunday night and into Monday morning, and that's when, of course, the coldest of the weather will be. Here's a look at Monday morning's map. Big dome of high pressure, beautiful dome of high pressure parked right over Pennsylvania. It's going to be crystal clear, and temperatures will be cold. Check out the map here. Monday morning at 8 a.m. Lots of pinks here. The legend is off your screen, but yeah, that's 20s. Most of the pink colors are 20s, and here locally, the GFS is showing upper 20s to around 30. I think there could even be some 24, 25 degree readings first thing Monday morning in the colder nooks and crannies. So a hard freeze for everyone. If you have vegetation or plants outside that you want to survive, cover them up or bring them inside. You know the drill. Because if you don't get hit with the frost and freeze Saturday night, you certainly will Sunday night. Temperatures, though, are going to rebound pretty nicely next week. Let's talk about next week. Here's the chilly weekend with highs in the 40s. Monday's our transition day. Cold start, but back to the mid-50s in the afternoon, still below average. And then with a southwest wind, hey, mid-60s. I could even see maybe even a 67 or 68 by Wednesday. Depends on the timing of the next front. Next front, sometime late in the week, will push through. If it happens later than sooner, then these numbers are probably a little too low during the middle of next week. We could be in the upper 60s. But I've been talking about how the model numbers towards the end of the month are probably too low, and they're starting to come up. So a lot of 50s previously when I showed you this chart, but now we're starting to see more 60s showing up during that last week of October. So I think October is going to end on a mostly warm note, and that warm pattern kicks in during the middle of next week. And the warm pattern probably not going anywhere in a big hurry. Here's the climate forecast system 10-day outlook, taking us from roughly Halloween through November 9th. Not a lot of cold air to be found across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Can there be a chilly day or two? Sure. But averaged out over the course of 10 days, still looks like a pretty warm pattern as we head into November. Thank you for watching the Thursday night weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you have a great night. Hope you will join me tonight on 21 News at 11. And if you're up early, be sure and check out Jess's fresh 7-day forecast tomorrow morning on WFMJ Today.